It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
And thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's Schools. We hope you play along with us today and see if you can match wits with our 6 players. Let's meet them right now. First from Greenbelt Elementary School, would you please welcome Julia Powell, Noah Eubanks, and Wesley Thorson Renamaran. And from James Harrison Elementary School, would you please welcome to the show Haley Fordyce, Travis Doe, and Marcus Kane Ortiz. And now here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, our game board is arranged according to question difficulty with the easier questions on the left, worth 5 and 10. Tougher ones, 15, 20, and 25-pointer. That's the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. There are no penalties for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, we will have a team to possibly move on to the playoffs. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly. Let's go to Greenbelt. Would you please try your buzzer? Noah. All right, looks and sounds good. Good luck to you, Wesley and Julia and Travis. Give it a push. A-OK over there as well. Good luck to you, to Haley and Marcus. Congratulations to all of you for being chosen to represent your schools. You're winners just for being here today. Everybody in Prince George's County is proud of you guys. So let's have a good game today. Just have some fun. We go alphabetically G before J. So Greenbelt, let's play the bowl. You pick, Noah.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, this fictitious earth sign from Paddington was very fond of marmalade sandwiches. What literary character are we talking about? We're talking about the Paddington Bear, the author of which died recently. Try again, Red. Go.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, you know, most people think money is made of paper. It's actually made of cotton and linen. In Canada, their paper money is actually plastic, but it still smells like this tree that is the symbol of Canada. James Harrison.
The oak tree?
Not the oak tree. Good try. What tree is the symbol of Canada and the smell of it is embedded in their plastic money, Noah?
Maple.
Maple tree. Yeah, you know, the maple leaf is on the flag of the country. Go Red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if an animal is arboreal, it spends most of its life in a what? James Harrison.
A barrel?
A what?
A barrel?
A barrel? No. Green things is the category. If an animal is arboreal, it spends most of its life in a what? Noah?
A cocoon?
A tree. A tree. Arboreal animals. Spends its life in a tree. Like a lot of monkeys and lizards are arboreal. Sloths hardly ever come down to the ground. They are almost totally arboreal. Okay, Red, go.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams to raise money for impoverished children. There's a group called Comic Relief that one day a year asks people to buy one of these red proboscises so that everybody can look like a clown. What are they selling, Travis?
A red nose.
A red nose, yeah, that's it. Proboscis is another name for a nose. Good listening over there. Go green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. All right, look at the monitor in the studio, please, and you'll see 2 flamingos standing on one leg each. And you're always like, how can they do that and not get tired? Why don't their muscles get all fatigued? It's because their leg is stiffened, and what force that holds us all to earth gives them stability, Travis?
Gravity.
Gravity. Gravity is what holds them up. Good. Green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, if you're a fan of Superman, you know that Soup worked as Clark Kent at a newspaper that was named for a heavenly body. What newspaper did Clark Kent work for? The Daily Planet. The Daily Planet. Go green.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, the term that was used to describe the never-ending mirrors at an exhibit at the Hirshhorn Museum is also the term that Buzz Lightyear used in Toy Story. Never-ending. Noah.
Infinity.
And beyond. Red. Go. Thank you, Julia. Come on, Noah.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, every year on Super Bowl day, emergency rooms at hospitals have a lot of people coming in because they have cut their hands as they try to cut open these guacamole-making fruits. Noah?
Avocado.
Avocado's right. Good. Go again, green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, I know you're into mythology, Noah. You probably have heard the story of Icarus. He was the boy who had wings, and he flew too close to the sun, and he fell down because his wings were attached with what substance that bees make? Travis?
Honey.
No, not honey. Noah?
Wax.
Wax, that's right. The wax melted when he got too close to the sun, so he fell into the sea. He got a little too big for his britches. Yeah, go red. 80 to 65, 15-point advantage.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, if you eat a marshmallow that has been frozen solid because it has been dipped into this liquefied gas, James Harrison?
Liquid nitrogen.
Yeah. If you eat that marshmallow, smoke comes out your nose. All right, the buzzer says no smoke coming out your nose. That means the first round is over. And our score is Greenbelt 80, James Harrison 70. We'll be back with the second round in just one moment. Don't you go away. Dancing music, yeah. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Yeah, the music, we're dancing a little bit on the setup here. We're having a good time here today. We got a close score, and before we ask any more science questions, a few personal ones of our players. Let's find out about them. Let's go to Greenbelt Elementary School in Greenbelt, Maryland. Noah, who's your principal?
Miss Gaines.
Miss Gaines, she's out there, and she's ready and raring to have you succeed here. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Allison.
Miss Allison, yes, and I know she's new to the job, and she's really hoping you do well here today. Noah, did you have any alternates on your team?
Carly.
Carly, yeah, and she'll be out in just a few moments' time here. Tell me about Greenbelt. What's something great that goes on at Greenbelt Elementary?
Most of the teachers are really funny, and they tell a lot of jokes while they're teaching.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of fun in school.
Well, that's a good point. You know, if you're not having fun, it's kind of like, it's grim. You know, you want teachers that are having a good time, and there's no rule that says you can't laugh in school. Or in church, for that matter. Tell me about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
You're
still thinking, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're still thinking about stuff. And I know you like to read, you like mythology. And Wesley, you're still not quite sure what you want to do either. You're young guys, you have plenty of time to figure it out. But what do you like to do in your spare time, Wes?
I like to ride my bike a lot.
Where do you ride your bike? Where in Greenbelt?
Buddy Attic Park.
Yeah, Buddy Attic Park, and you go around the lake there.
Yeah.
Do you ever ride on the designated bike lanes out on Greenbelt Road? That's a little dangerous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much. I like going around the lake.
You like going around the lake?
Yeah, it's a lot quieter than the roads.
It is, absolutely, and it's a lot safer, and I know you wear your helmet too, so you're doing all the right stuff. Julia, nice to have you here, and I know you had some dental surgery there, some dental work done, and you're still here. I know you're not feeling all that well, but we're happy you're here today. What do you want to do when you grow up, Julia?
Well, I want to like make cartoons or plays or something that people would like watch or like help out with it. I don't exactly know that like I want to be the like actress or voice actor, but I like want to make it because like I like watching stuff.
Oh, it sounds like you're a very creative young lady, and doing voiceovers, doing cartoons, and you want to entertain people. You want to make life. Sometimes that's a nice escape for people. So I applaud you for that. Good to have you with us today. Let's go over to James Harrison. Travis, you said that you are super responsible. When I asked you how they made you the team captain, you certainly are. You're the solid rock over there. You're doing a good job as a captain, just as Noah is. Tell me about Harrison. It's up there in Laurel, Maryland, on Marchdale Road. And who's your principal?
Dr. Wanda Williams.
Absolutely right, and I know she's behind you today. And did you have one or two sponsors?
Two.
Who are they?
Miss McGee Cox and Miss Howell.
Wonderful, and both of them have done such a great job. Harrison has not been with us that many years, but because of Lynn and Robin, we now know all about James Harrison. We know what a great team, what a good school it is. Any alternates on your team, Travis?
Miguel.
Yeah, Miguel will be out in a few moments. And let me ask you what I asked Noah. What's really great at James Harrison?
All the teachers and staff, they are really nice, and they make sure that we at least learn something every day or get better at something.
Every day, yeah. If you can go home and check off something and say, I never knew this before, or I'm better at it than I was before, then it was a good day. Tell me about yourself, Travis. Someday, what do you see yourself doing?
Being a soccer player or a dentist, a doctor.
A doctor, yeah. Dentists are doctors too, yeah. Well, you've got that discipline. I know you're going to be successful. Marcus, nice to have you here, and you're all dressed up over there. Is that part of the school uniform? Do you wear a tie at school?
No.
Thank you for wearing it for us today. Everybody looks good. The matching green T-shirts over here at Greenbelt too. Tell me about Mark. Give us the Marcus story. What do you do in your spare time?
Well, I either like building, playing video games, playing with my little brother. It's fun.
Yeah, your little brother's 7, right? Yeah, looking up to you. So that's a lot of responsibility on you. You got to be the role model, and you are. What do you want to do someday?
Be an engineer, scientist.
Engineer or scientist. So you're in the right place. You're on the science bowl. Yeah, you're doing real well. How about you, Haley? Tell us about yourself. You want to do something you're a performer, aren't you?
Yeah, what I do, I read a lot. I also read about mythology too, and what I want to do in the future is like acting, cooking, and make books for people to read. That's what I like to do.
You know, maybe you can be like those people on TV. They're kind of actors, you know, the chefs, you know, and you're cooking at the same time. But you have a much nicer personality than some of those guys do on TV. Let's get back to the game. Harrison is at 70, Greenbelt at 80, and the last correct answer came from Travis. So let's go. Travis.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline Science for 10 points. Teams, scientists who study dinosaurs now say that this most feared of dinosaurs couldn't really run. He was more of a speed walker. What dinosaur am I talking about, Travis?
The T-Rex.
The T-Rex, yeah. Even speed walking, I wouldn't want to have to outrun him. Go green. 80 all, tie score.
Body system for 10.
Body system for 10 points. Teams, if you were having trouble with your cuspids and your bicuspids, what kind of doctor would you go to see? With your cuspids and your bicuspids, what kind of doctor would you go to see? It's the kind Julia just went to, a dentist. A dentist. Your cuspids are your canines and your bicuspids are your premolars. No points. Go again, green.
Science property for 10.
Science property for 10 points. Teams, Dan Pilkey wrote a book called Captain Underpants. He also wrote about Dogman. The creature was, you like mythology, it was half dog, half police officer. If you have a creature that's half and half, what H initial term describes that creature, Harrison?
A hybrid.
Hybrid, yeah. Go, green, you're in the lead.
Green things for 25.
Green things for, oh boy, he's going for the big one. Teams, what X initialed word describes the tube inside of a plant that brings minerals and water up the tube? X initial, Travis.
Pass it over to Haley.
Haley.
Xylophone.
Take your time. What do you want to say?
Is Xyloparis?
No, not quite, not quite. Greenbelt, do you have that 25-point answer for me? The X-initialed word that is the tube in the plant that brings water and minerals up the stem. It's called xylem, X-Y-L-E-M. Try again, Green.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, the great Baltimore Oriole, Cal Ripken, and the actor, Robert Downey Jr., are both known as Fe men. Fe is the chemical symbol for what metal? Noah.
Iron.
Iron men. They're both iron men. Go red. Good, Noah.
Zooparade for 15.
Zooparade for 15 points. Teams, the author Herman Melville, when he visited the Galapagos Islands, he said the sound that you hear everywhere is the hiss from these
Snakes.
not snakes, Greenbelt. The hiss that this author heard on the Galapagos Islands came from what signature reptiles that live only on the Galapagos?
Komodo dragon.
No, the tortoises, the giant tortoises that live on the Galapagos. They hiss if you come near them. They're not really sociable. Go again, red. You have a 5-point lead, Noah.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. All right, teams, your question is as follows. Horseshoe crabs. Some of you might have seen them at the beach. They're these big things. They look dangerous. They're not. They have blue blood. And they use that blue blood because it will react with bacteria. So they use that blood to purify these chemicals that are given to us to protect us from getting diseases. What do we call those kind of injections, Travis?
Pass it over to Haley.
Haley.
Vaccines.
Vaccines. Yes, ma'am. Good answer. Green.
Deadline science for 15.
Deadline science for 15 points. Teams, Elon Musk, we've all heard of him. He built the Tesla cars, the SpaceX rockets. Now he's designing these giant power sources for our homes. Power sources that are much bigger than the little ones we use that are usually AA or AAA. Greenbelt?
Batteries.
Batteries, yeah, giant batteries for our houses. Go red.
Zooparade for 20.
Zooparade for 20 points. Teams, this hovering insect that looks like a helicopter is sometimes called a mosquito hawk. What insect am I talking about? Noah.
Dragonfly.
Dragonflies, yeah, they eat up mosquitoes. They just vacuum them out of the air. 115, 125 to 105, up to 130. Go, Noah.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, when an algae and a fungus get together and they both help each other, it's a good relationship. We call that kind of relationship where they both benefit, not parasitism, but this S initial term. It's known as symbiosis. Symbiosis. Go again, red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Team, someone who has celiac disease has to be very careful not to eat this wheat protein that is labeled on many foods now that it is not in there. Greenbelt.
Pass to Wesley.
Wesley?
Gluten.
Gluten. That's right. Gluten-free foods if you have celiac disease. Yes, sir. Good answer. Go, Noah.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, when they put food in bags, a lot of times the crumbs stick to the inside. So people who make foods, they spray the inside with a chemical called perchlorate so that this kind of electricity doesn't happen. Nothing sticks. What kind of electricity are we talking about, Travis?
Static.
Yeah, that's it. My engineer came through. Thanks, Marcus. Go green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20 points. Teams, when we walk around, we shed little bits of our DNA everywhere. It's called little e DNA because we are leaving little bits of our DNA everywhere in the what? What does the E stand for, Travis?
Environment.
Environment, yeah. Good, go.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. A multiple choice question, teams. Wesley Foreman won a Nobel Prize for coming up with a device that he could put inside the body with a balloon on the end so that they could stop internal bleeding. Is that thing known as a suppository, a fluoroscope, or a catheter? Noah.
Fluoroscope?
Not a fluoroscope. This tube with a balloon on the end, they can inflate it, they can stop internal bleeding. Nobel Prize went to its inventor. Catheter, fluoroscope, suppository.
Pass it over to Marcus.
Catheter?
Catheter, absolutely right. Good. A balloon catheter is its name. All right. Score update. Greenbelt 145, James Harrison 165. We have just a few questions left. Advantage green.
Dateline Science for 25.
Dateline Science for 25 points. Listen carefully, teams. There is a footprint that was left when man first stepped onto the moon. The Apollo 11 astronauts landed there. The man who made that footprint was the second man who stepped onto the moon. What was his name? James Harrison.
Neil Armstrong.
Not Neil Armstrong. Noah.
Louis Armstrong?
Not Louis Armstrong. His name was Buzz Aldrin. Buzz Aldrin. He was on Dancing with the Stars. He was on Big Bang Theory. No points. Green again.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical for 25 points. Teams, these kinds of G-initialed rays are used to treat cancer patients. The G is the third letter in the Greek alphabet. Alpha, beta, this. Noah.
Gamma?
Gamma. That's it. Thank you, Wesley. Good. Red.
Zoo Parade for 25?
Zoo Parade for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, birds have no teeth. So to chew their food, they swallow little rocks and pebbles that go down into this G-initialed organ that grinds up the food. What is that G-initialed organ for 25 points? Greenbelt.
Pass to Wesley?
Wesley.
Gizzard?
Gizzard. Yes, sir. Good. Red. Go.
Dateline Science for 20?
Dateline Science for 20 points. Visual question. Look at the monitor, please. There's a big problem in this country with opioid addiction and heroin addiction. Opium comes from this beautiful red flower. Can you name this flower with the waxy leaves? The source of opium, Greenbelt.
Poppy?
Poppy is right. Yes, sir. Good. Thank you, Julia. Go, Noah.
Science Potpourri for 25?
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you are texting someone and your autocorrect changes OMG, oh my God, to GMO, you're talking about organisms or food that have been modified. How? What does the G stand for? What kind of modified organisms, Greenbelt?
Genetically?
Genetically modified organism. Yes, indeed. Last question of the game is body systems for 25 points. Team, someone suffering from COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That disease affects what organs? James Harrison.
The kidney?
Not the kidney. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease affects Noah.
Pass to Wesley?
Wes?
Brain?
Lungs, pulmonary. We've run out of questions. Our game is over. We'll be back in just a moment with a wrap-up. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Hope you enjoyed this game at home as much as we did here in the studio. It went back and forth because these teams were so evenly matched, and we are proud of all 6 of our players. Our final tally today is James Harrison, 165, Greenbelt, 240. Congratulations to the people in green, Julia and Noah and Wesley and Carly and Miss Allison, the proud sponsor here, and Miss Gaines, thank you. The principal of the school is here supporting these wonderful youngsters. And Noah, he's dancing already. Let's see some smiles over here. Our actress, Miss Haley there, super responsible Travis, and future engineer Marcus, you played wonderful game today. Miguel, you were part of this team too, an integral part here. And our sponsors over there, Miss McGee and Miss Howe, and the principal here who has made the trip, Dr. Williams. Thank you for being here and supporting these young people. And thank you for being part of Science Bowl. We'll see you next time. I'm Dave Zarin. Bye for now.